This headphone amp will blow you away. Let's check it out. Dave Taylor here, and I have a ton of wired headphones, and they sound pretty darn nice, but when you get devices like this Google Pixel 5, they don't have an audio jack. So it's a bit of a dilemma how you plug it in. But there are also reasons that you want to amplify the sound. You don't want to just plug straight in and actually have a little adapter. You want to have some ability to improve that sound too. Enter this. This unlikely little piece of electronics, which I got to admit is not actually breaking any records with its ergonomic design or anything, but this is the KGUSS, I guess that's how you pronounce it, DAC-K3 HIFI USB digital analog converter. It is a pro headphone amp, and it is a ridiculously low price, and it delivers some amazing sound. This is from a Chinese company that it is absolutely obvious that they focus on what they're building, not so much how they're packaging it. Their box, their documentation and everything, it's not great, but boy, this device delivers. So I thought, what could I plug in that would be interesting? And I thought, let's try actually using this new Android phone. So this particular Pixel 5 has USB-C on the bottom. So I happen to have a USB-C to USB 3 adapter, and the DAC amp, we'll just call it the headphone amp, actually comes with a USB 3 2 on the other end. USB, I don't even know what this connector is called, but it's the sort of like the square connector. And that's one of the inputs on the back. In fact, let's jump to a close-up of the back, and you can see there's PC USB, that's the one we're going to use. There's optical, though it doesn't include the cable. There's coaxial, again, no cable included. There's an RCA left and right for audio out. And then there's the 12-volt DC. You have to use its included adapter for power. It's just a little wall plug, not a big deal. So I'll plug this in, and we are ready to roll. Now, let's have a close-up of the front. On the front, there is a power button. There is a select button that lets you select between coaxial and optical and USB. There is a 1/4 inch or 6.35 millimeter audio jack, and then there's the volume control, right? And you're looking and you're thinking, all right, well, we can get the source all plugged in as I've done now. So now my phone is ready to work with the headphone amp, but I have a 3.5 millimeter jack on these old headphones. Actually, they're not that old. And these, by the way, just tell you what these are. These are the Beyerdynamic Amaron Home 250 ohm headphones. And that 250 ohms is going to be important. I reviewed these back in December of 2016. I've had these a while, and they're just beautiful headphones. I've really broken them in, and just whatever I listen to sounds good. But obviously, it's always nice to give it a little more signal. So fortunately, the headphone amp comes with this adapter, which converts that 6.35 millimeter to 3.5 millimeter. So plug this into here, turn it on, make sure it is selected for USB, and then I just thought, well, realistically, what audio source am I going to use, right? So I could have something like Tidal with its high bit rate and everything, but most likely people are going to be using something like Spotify. So enter Spotify. So I have Spotify playing on my Google Pixel 5, and then it's going through the adapter into the USB, into the headphone amp, and then that has an adapter. There's a lot of pieces here. And then finally, the Amaron Home, I can put on my head, and I can start some music, and then basically, now I have the volume control. And I can tell you that I have it at about maybe 15 degrees from where it starts. And if I turn it even just to about 50%, this is so loud that it is kind of blowing my ears away, right? To put this up to full volume, it would really genuinely deafen you. That would really be a bad idea, but boy, this thing can get loud, and that's really fun. Because what this gives you is it gives you a really big sound and an extraordinary soundstage. When I had these on and I was listening to some classic nightclub jazz, it was as if my head was in a sphere. There's so much spatial sense that I could just hear instruments all around me. Now, audiophiles call that soundstage, and this did a really great job because it even gives you a height on the soundstage. So closing my eyes and just listening to some classic jazz, it was really a remarkable experience. Really easy to forget entirely that all of this is being powered by a little phone. It's unbelievable. I mean, honestly, we live in a marvelous age for technology. The fact that you can do all this with such little investment. Now, the headphones are expensive, but you know, all in all, this used to be thousands of dollars worth of hi-fi, and now it's just stuff that you can actually have in your pocket almost, right? You can take this with you when you go to work. If you're working from home, you can have this right next to your laptop, plug this into your laptop, and then whatever music source you want, boy, it's going to sound beautiful. So let me tell you a little bit about the specs here. Has a sound to noise ratio of 105 decibels, total harmonic distortion of 0.01%. It does a 24-bit sampling at 192 kilohertz, and that's for all three input sources. And then the output, like I said, it is 6.35 millimeter jack, or obviously you can use the RCA plugs on the back. And if you look on somewhere like Amazon, there are a zillion adapters from RCA to whatever the heck you want. If you can get RCA to 3.5 millimeter, and then you could plug in on the back if that would be something you'd prefer. Now, the company recommends that you use 250 ohm or more headphones, but I tried it with lower amperage impedance headphones, I guess that's what that is. And I will just say that because they have that lower impedance, it's that much louder, and it's so loud that I would say that if you turn it up even like 5% of the way, that's probably a perfect listening volume for you to really be in an immersive musical environment. So the point is that the reason they're saying you should have a high ohm headphone is so you can really get more of the dynamic range of this amp, but it's so efficient and there's so many smartly chosen chips inside, you can definitely use it with anything, but just expect that you're not going to be able to turn it up very much without having it be really crazy loud. So pretty darn flexible. And again, you know, this is all about the sound, the design, the engineering and everything. This honestly looks like it's almost a kit, right? Like an old Radio Shack audio kit or something. But boy, whatever's inside here, that circuit board has some beautiful chips on it because it's making a really nice, warm sound. And in fact, some of the chips that they use, they say actually mimic some of the sound of old tube music amps. And I believe that. It really is just a lovely sound. I can't say that enough. I wish you could just hear and you would be like, oh, that's pretty nice. So dimensions-wise, it's super light. It's 0.6 kilograms. And it is, and you're going to have to be metric here, 149 millimeters by 98 millimeters by 33 millimeters. To suffice to say, it's smaller than a small paperback book, and it is as light as, honestly, a half-drunk can of soda. It's really very easy, very portable. The in-the-box experience is pretty minimalistic. They really, you know, they could ship it in a smaller box, but it's just a basic sort of thing because they know that as soon as you get this thing, you're going to take it out of the box. And what are you going to do with the box? You're going to say ciao, and the box is gone, and now you have this beautiful piece of audio equipment. So I have no criticisms of this. It's really, really nice. You know, maybe it'd be nice if they had a power that didn't require their own custom adapter, but probably not a big deal. And other than that, yeah, actually, all right, I'll have some criticisms. I would like to see the ability to power it through another source. So maybe like USB-C or micro USB even, if they had to do that. And then on the front, they have this 6.35 millimeter jack, but why not have a 3.5 millimeter jack right next to it so that I don't have to use this dorky little adapter? Now it's included, and that's fine, but wouldn't it be nice to have one less adapter in this mix here? Yes, it would. But when I tell you the price of this, you're going to be like, what? And you're going to realize that even with these limitations, to be able to take your music and your headphones and give them this much more life and this much more of a rich audiophile experience, totally worth it. So how much is that price? Well, before we get to the price, let me ask if you, yes, you can click on my subscribe button. I really appreciate when you subscribe to my channel. It helps us stay in touch. Great. All right, this is the KGUSS DAC-K3 HIFI USB DAC Pro headphone amp. It's a lot of words, right? And it will cost you $99.99, but no, because when I went to their website, they actually have it listed for $64.99, which is a pretty sweet deal. Hopefully you can get that too, and that's at hificollege.net. What is Hi-Fi College? I don't know, but they're selling this device for $64.99, and that is an absolute steal. If you have an office at work where you can leave this set up and plugged into your computer or something, and then just like bring your favorite headphones, wow, such a win. Totally worth checking out. So with that, I am actually going to plug everything back in, because for sure I can tell you I'm going back to my music. And it looks like I have some music already playing. Let's see what's going on here. All right, I'll catch you in my next video.